If you need to set up payroll in 2025, but the thought of all those hoops you have to jump through is giving you a headache, then don't worry, you're not alone. In today's video, I'm going to guide you step by step on how to set up payroll for your business, save yourself time, and avoid actual legal ramifications if you do it the wrong way. So let's get started. And don't worry, we'll keep it simple. No accounting jargon here, just the good stuff. Getting payroll right is absolutely essential. Not only does it ensure your employees are paid correctly and on time, it keeps you compliant with HMRC regulations. Messing up can lead to penalties, fines, even angry staff. And let's be honest, no one wants to deal with Dave storming into your office asking where his payslip is. Let's break this down into 6 easy steps. Step 1. First of all, you need to register as an employer with HMRC. Now, this gives you something called an employer PAYE reference, which you'll use to report payroll. You can do this online and it usually takes about 5 working days to process. Just don't leave it until the last minute. Trust me on that one. Step 2. Next, you've got to pick the right payroll software. If you're just starting out, HMRC's basic PAYE tools is a free option. For more features, consider paid software like Xero or QuickBooks, which offer automated calculations and reports. Think of it like choosing between a bicycle and a car. Both get you to the destination, but one is faster and has air conditioning. The paid software has a lot more functionality than the HMRC toolkit and can produce pay slips, which the toolkit doesn't do. Also, the toolkit's very basic and it's meant only really for very small businesses. It doesn't produce pay slips or automatically enroll employees for pensions. Paid software does have all this functionality, which is a definite advantage when it's more than just yourself as a director on payroll. The downside of both against outsourced professional help, however, is the background knowledge and help available. Step 3. So before you can run payroll, you'll need to gather information from your employees. This includes their name, address, national insurance number, and also P45 or P46 forms from other work done in the year, and their bank details. And yes, surprise, surprise, you might have to chase them for this information. It's amazing how many people forget their own NI number. So make sure you allow enough time for delays, and a good tip is to set yourself daily reminders to chase anyone who's late in giving you that information, because you need to file on either the day the employees are paid or before. Then step 4. Once you've got all that info, it's time to input it into your payroll software, whether it's the free or paid version. Also, you need to set your pay rates, choose your pay schedules, that's when you're going to pay your staff and how often, and decide on the payment methods, for example, backs or bank transfer. That can be weekly, fortnightly, 4-weekly or monthly for payment schedules. It varies really from business to business. Then we have step 5. And next on the checklist is running your first payroll. When it's time to run the payroll, your software will calculate the taxes, the national insurance, and the pensions for you. And don't forget to submit a real-time information report to HMRC on or before payday. This is basically clicking to submit your employer payment summary or EPS every time you run it. And a good way to remember this is imagine RTI as the text that you've sent to HMR saying, hey everyone, here's what I've paid all my employees and how much. So to help, here are some payroll deadlines. Now, the first one includes the 5th of each month to remember. That's the end of the payroll month. The following 19th after that is the deadline for filing your EPS, employer payment summary, with HMRC. And then the 22nd is for payments of PAYE and NI to HMRC. 31st of May is the deadline for giving all your employees a P60. And finally, 6th of July for filing of P11D benefits in kind forms with HMRC and giving a copy to all of your employees. And then finally, step 6 is to make sure you've set up workplace pensions. As an employer, you're required by law to enrol eligible employees into a pension scheme. You also need to keep track of deadlines to avoid fines. And yes, pensions are that thing we all complain about, but we're very thankful we have them when we're older. Pensions need to be filed and paid monthly with your chosen provider to all applicable employees. And by the way, if you're finding this video useful, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. If you get to the end and it's not everything you hoped it would be, just unsubscribe. Easy peasy. Next up, here are a few tips from my many years as an accountant to make payroll stress-free for you. Firstly, automate as much as possible using payroll software. And again, this can only be done usually with paid software, not HMRC's toolkit. And that includes things like RTI submissions and pension contributions. Second, set yourself reminders for deadlines like PAYE payments. Third, and finally, use a payroll checklist to ensure you don't miss a step. Because let's face it, no one wants to be the person who forgets to pay the team right before a bank holiday. Now, let's talk about some common pitfalls, like, for example, forgetting to register employees. Yes, it does happen. Using checklists can really help avoid that. You've got a list of all your employees and what you need to do and when. Missing RTI deadlines. Now this one can really cost you. HMRC can charge you 5% of the amount that's late if you miss the deadline. Another one is failing to issue pay slips. Now, did you know pay slips are a legal requirement? Not issuing them is surprisingly common. And no, sending a WhatsApp saying you've been paid doesn't count as a pay slip. It's the small details that make a big difference. That brings us neatly on to when to consider outsourcing your payroll. If you're finding that your payroll feels too complex or time-consuming, consider outsourcing it to professionals. It's really helpful if you have multiple employees or seasonal workers. It's a bit like hiring a cleaner. Sure, you can do it yourself, but sometimes it's just easier to let the pros handle it. And is it really the best use of your time? But anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. And remember, if Dave comes asking about his payslip, you've got this sorted now.